A suspicious death investigation is underway after a body was found near the Detroit River. New jobs coming to the region. The largest producer of food cans in Canada invests in Chatham. And honoring 9/11 first responders.
In my mind, I was just thinking of all the people, what they went through.
Students learning about the horrific tragedy beyond the history books.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening and thank you for joining us both on CTV Windsor and AM 800. Windsor police cornered off an area of the riverfront near Lincoln Road for more than 15 hours. Police say they are investigating the death of a man that is considered suspicious in nature. An autopsy has been scheduled to determine the cause of death. Police were called shortly before 6 p.m. on Wednesday where the man was found. He was already dead when officers arrived on scene. Police say residents in the area can expect an increased police presence while the investigation continues. Unrelated, Windsor police have charged a 29-year-old man with sexual assault and forcible confinement. Police say the incident happened September 7th at a house in the 1200 block of Harrison Avenue. The suspect and victim met through social media. Police say the suspect drove the victim to a residence where she was allegedly sexually assaulted and was prevented from leaving. The suspect turned himself in 2 days later. 29-year-old Jibril Ahmed Farah is facing charges. Today marks 24 years since the September 11th terrorist attacks in the United States. Today, students at a LaSalle High School joined firefighters honoring first responders by taking on a physical challenge that carries heavy meaning. CTV's Chris Campbell reports.
Step by step, over and over, students and staff at St. Thomas of Villanova Catholic Secondary School, along with local firefighters, climbed the bleachers, matching the number of stairs inside New York's World Trade Center towers.
It was very hard work, but it's very meaningful for what it represents.
For many students, it was their first time learning about the tragedy beyond history books.
In my mind, I was just thinking of all the people, what they went through. They definitely had it a lot harder than me, so I just kept pushing on and on.
Some students instead walking laps around the track while speaking with LaSalle firefighters.
This is like the first time we've ever done something like this, and I think it was pretty cool. We were talking to a couple of firefighters, and they're teaching us a lot about the process of becoming a firefighter.
Principal Danielle Desjardins says the event is about more than just remembering.
Not only commemorate and memorialize first responders, but also to bring together our LaSalle community to increase awareness of the role of firefighting in our community. And some of these students, it was 24 years ago, they weren't alive yet, so they might hear stories, they might see clips, but today provides an opportunity for them to really imagine and to hear from individuals who were there at that time.
For LaSalle firefighters, it was a way to share perspective.
Powerful, humbling. It's just such a privilege to put the Maltese cross on every day and to share this with a generation that wasn't alive for the 9/11 tragedy. Was super important to us.
Organizers hope the climb not only honored the 443 first responders killed that day, but inspires future ones.
I wasn't alive for D-Day or World War II, but those stories were passed on through my parents and ancestors of the like, so I think it's the responsibility for us to keep those 443 brave men and women's sacrifice alive and honor them.
A lesson in resilience, sacrifice, and community, carried one step at a time. In LaSalle, Chris Campbell, CTV News.
It's a Ruck to remember. A group of ex-military members and volunteers are hiking 140 kilometers Windsor to Chatham, carrying heavy loaded backpacks. The journey to raise awareness and funds for homeless veterans. CTV's Bob Elachico was there as the Ruckers took their first steps.
It can't be that heavy, right? It's heavy. Let me try.
Students from St. Angela's School trying to pick up a rucksack that weighs between 45 and 55 pounds.
Yeah, it's also typical of, specifically the infantry. Back in the day, they'd have to lug everything around. and everything would be on their back.
These 5 ruckers are carrying the backpacks as they trek across the region.
The Road to Recovery Ruck March is our flagship annual event. We cover 2 kilometers for every veteran and first responder that passed the year before. So this year, that'll be 142 kilometers that we're covering.
The Ruck to Remember organization, founded by Lino DiGiulio, this year is helping create awareness and support for a program called Leave the Streets Behind.
It's run by the Royal Canadian Legion, and it's committed to getting and keeping veterans off the streets.
If I were in that position, I'd want somebody to have a program like this set up anyway for my own sake.
Quick! March!
Students formed a line on Marintet Avenue and cheered for the Ruckers as they stepped off into their journey.
The Legion being just down the street from us, a lot of them saw the building, didn't know what it was. We wanted to spread some awareness of what they were doing and letting them know that this is an important part of our community and we wanted to be a part of it.
A lot of support on the trail today.
There's been homeless veterans that we've assisted. There's been 25, 30 veterans in Windsor. We've helped veterans in Amherstburg, Kingsville, Comber, Chatham, all the routes that we're going on this year's Ruck.
Day 1 concluded in Amherstburg, where they are being hosted by the Royal Canadian Legion, Fort Malden Branch 157. They had a parade, they had dinner, they're staying overnight. Day 2 resumes tomorrow. It's their longest day of the 4-day journey, 41 kilometers. Ruck to Remember will finish in Chatham Sunday with the hope of raising $200,000 during their visits and online. Bob Belichico, CTV News.
Disruption today at St. Clair College. 193 full-time support staff walked off the job.
Unfortunately, the students are the pawns in all of this. The government is playing them against us and the system to really make a weaker Ontario.
10,000 full-time support staff across the province walked off the job this morning, including close to 200 from St. Clair, who were seen at the Cabana Road entrance. Talks broke down last night between the College Employer Council and the Ontario Public Service Employees Union. Union leaders tell CTV News the walkout is more about job security than wages and benefits. The workforce has seen substantial cuts in the last year, and officials feel the Ford government is mismanaging funding to public colleges.
That number of 193 has just been dwindling over the past year. We just went through some major stability and layoffs, losing almost about 20% of our staff. We're seeing it in all the departments, and like my colleague Mark had mentioned, the students are the ones who lose in this.
Good news for parents of students who ride a school bus operated by First Student. A tentative agreement has been reached. The company had said it was going to lock out 180 bus drivers on Monday if an agreement could not be reached before then. Unifor Local 195 represents those bus drivers who transport around 7,000 local students daily, mostly in Windsor and LaSalle. Wages have been a key issue in contract talks. Union President Emile Nabout says a deal was reached Thursday afternoon with the help of a mediator, and the union is recommending acceptance. A ratification vote will be held on Saturday at 10 a.m. at the Union Hall on Somme Avenue. Elsewhere on the road, school buses have been rolling for a week now, but students who relied on Windsor's School Bus Extras program have had to find new ways to get to class. CTV's Robert Lothian spoke with one mom who looked into how much the change is affecting her children.
So I am here at the bus stop.
For the past week, Windsor's Darcy Reno has been turning back the clock, spending mornings and evenings taking buses to Windsor high schools.
So I decided to put myself in their shoes and try to get to school in time, and then also try to get home from school.
Reno set out to highlight the loss of school bus extras, specific routes previously used to ease travel for students. Trips included traveling to and from Holy Names and Vincent Massey.
So 2 buses, I had to walk a kilometer from the bus stop, and it took me in total about an hour and 5 minutes to get back.
Reno, whose son begins high school at Massey next year, says students are facing longer rides, full buses, and multiple transfers.
We want them to go to school. They need our help to get to school. And in fact, we're making it worse for them compared to others.
School bus extras were a victim of 2025 city budget cuts. Instead, Windsor added 20,000 new transit hours across the region.
Administration is monitoring it very, very carefully. And in terms of the feedback from the principals, yes, it's definitely an adjustment. It's definitely an adjustment for students.
On the east side, Ward 7 councillor Angelo Marignani says the lack of school extras is causing more congestion.
So parents are now, because they don't have that option with the school bus, they are now driving their kids to school, which is causing more problems in front of our already congested schools.
Marignani says he's hearing from St. Joe's principal about parents stopping along the road to drop students off rather than wait in now longer lineups.
Hopefully there will be some enforcements tomorrow and next week, and the hope of that is so that people don't get into bad habits at the beginning of the season.
For Renault, there's fear as the temperature drops, students will only have more to worry about.
So to leave kids in this position potentially into the winter really worries me.
Robert Lothian, CTV News.
A blockade remains in place at Windsor Tool and Die Factory. Uniform members have been blocking transports from leaving Futura Tool and Die for more than a day now. It all started Wednesday during a uniform rally in support of Titan Tool and Die right across the street. Union leaders say Futura is a subsidiary of Titan. Company officials have not returned our emails or phone calls. Union members were successful Wednesday in not letting transports leave the Charles Street factory. They say they will maintain the blockade day and night until the company inks a new contract with Titan workers. The union accuses Futura of moving production out of Titan and into a non-unionized workplace. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald joins us now for a first look at the weather from the top of the Bell Building tonight. Good evening, Gary.
Good evening, Stefanie. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? It feels more like July up here on the roof. Temperatures are about 3 to 4 degrees above seasonal. There's even a bit of humidity, making 26 feel closer to 27, 28. That's not a huge difference, but you get the idea. A ridge of high pressure is keeping things quiet across the Great Lakes. That's why we're not seeing any returns in terms of the radar, no precipitation, and the cloud cover. Satellite imagery not showing much of any because I would say a good 85 to 90% of the sky is clear, relatively speaking. And it looks like that ridge of high pressure is going to keep things clear and sunny for the next little while. I'll break down what you need to know as we continue to be warm and sunny and fair beyond the weekend. That's coming up.
Canada's largest food can maker is sealing a new deal with Chatham, an $80 million investment that's bringing a long vacant factory back to life. As CTV's Sanjay Maru reports, business leaders say the move will not only create jobs, but will also help ease costs for families.
For the past 10 years, this plant in Chatham has sat empty after Crown Metal Packaging closed its doors. But early next year, Quebec-based Ideal Can will move in, operating 3 shifts around the clock.
It's exactly like a Quebec facility. We produce 24 hours by day, 6 days a week.
The operation would create 100 jobs, but the Chamber of Commerce in Chatham-Kent says the impact could be far greater.
100 jobs in manufacturing can result in anywhere from 300 to 500 jobs because of the supply chain. Now, all those jobs won't be here in Chatham-Kent, but, you're going to have equipment that needs to be installed. You're going to need construction. You're going to need maintenance people.
The location was no accident. Chatham sitting in the middle of Ontario's tomato belt, surrounded by major processors.
This is always great to see is add value as opposed to shipping it to the U.S. to be processed and then buying it back for twice as much.
The announcement coming as tariffs continue to drive up costs for both businesses and families.
Cost of living is up. There's more exposure to being at risk for housing, at risk for, being able to provide for your family, to pay the bills. So it's an excellent investment for us to see here in Chatham-Kent.
The plan is to start with 2 production lines, adding 1 every 6 months until there are 8 in total. At maximum capacity, Ideal Can says their Chatham facility would be able to produce 1 billion cans every year.
The only Winners is the consumer, the people on the grocery store.
In Chatham, Sanjay Maru, CTV News.
Windsor-based nonprofit Build a Dream has opened a skilled trades incubator.
This is for anyone that is looking to explore a new career, that's going into a second career, or is just not sure what pathway is available.
It's located inside Zion Robotics on Ambassador Drive. The Trade Skill Development Incubator is a collaboration between Build a Dream, Zion, and St. Clair College, with financial support from all levels of government. People who want to check out can sign up at the Build a Dream website to enter the incubator.
We have scheduled days per week where educators, families, and just job seekers can hop in, drop by, and then we take them through 8 to 10 different careers in this space. But then we connect them to service providers, educators in industry that are either hiring or training to accelerate their chances of becoming successful in that space.
The City of Windsor is cracking down on dirty yards by taking a proactive approach. Since early summer, bylaw enforcement officers, ward by ward, are looking at dirty yards, overgrown grass, curbside garbage, and other visible bylaw violations with respect to neighborhood appearance. Craig Robertson, manager of licensing and enforcement, said officers are speaking with residents about issues and how to fix them. And the approach is working, with 50 to 65% of residents complying within 24 hours after being notified. The city fields about 16,000 bylaw complaints yearly. 10 to 12,000 of them are related to yard conditions alone. As of September 8th, there was a backlog of nearly 2,000 unresolved calls. Do neglected yards in your neighborhood bother you? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday, we asked if you would like to see speed cameras in the region. Out of 900 responses, 61% say yes. Still ahead on Windsor's news leader. The Prime Minister unveils the first 5 major projects on his agenda, but not everyone's on board. The expanding manhunt in the Charlie Kirk killing and how a Canadian was misidentified. And tomorrow, residents housing for university families. What it's going to take to renovate a 50-year-old campus high-rise. That's tomorrow at 6 on CTV News. Canada needs to build big. The key promise made by Prime Minister Mark Carney today. He announced the first 5 major projects, from energy and mining in the west to expanding ports in the east. Carney says it's about nation building. CTV's Abigail Beeman has the details.
Mark Carney tried to drive home his message.
It's a single point of contact to get nation-building projects built faster.
Announcing the first 5 projects and more in development, led by a former energy executive at the newly opened Major Projects Office.
To get to one project, one review, one decision in a 2-year time frame, we'll set Canada apart globally.
The Prime Minister acknowledged several are already further along, like LNG and Kitimat. He says in all cases, engagement with Indigenous groups is very advanced, and within 5 years...
Yes. Some of those projects, shovels will be in the ground.
But the opposition leader points out no shovels yet.
He's not permitted a single major mine, pipeline, nuclear plant, or anything else. What he's done today is announce that he's going to send an email to an office that isn't even fully staffed up yet, which will one day consider possibly approving 5 projects. This is pathetic.
As for money in a new spend less, invest more environment, the Prime Minister says being more efficient doesn't cost much. It's not clear how much Ottawa will spend otherwise.
We expect with the vast majority of these projects that federal dollars will catalyze many multiples of private dollars.
CTV News asked the Prime Minister what success looks like. He said in part it's about changing attitude so people believe Canada can build big. The next list of projects, he says, will be out by the Grey Cup
That's November. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Edmonton.
A major manhunt underway in the United States right now, searching for the person who killed Charlie Kirk, a high-profile right-wing activist and key supporter of President Trump. As Joy Malvin shows us, the FBI has released a photo of a person of interest.
Oh my God. Go, run, run.
Charlie Kirk was taking questions on a Utah college campus about mass shootings when police say a single shot was fired. Authorities say the right-wing commentator and fierce ally of Donald Trump was targeted. The powerful leader of a conservative youth movement shot and killed in full view. The FBI releasing this photo, a person of interest, they say, who appears to be of college age and seemed to blend in with the crowd. Police are also confident they have good video footage of the person they believe to be the shooter.
We were able to track his movements as he moved to the other side of the building, jumped off of the building, and fled off of the campus and into a neighborhood.
The FBI also found what they believe is the murder weapon, a high-powered bolt-action rifle.
That rifle was recovered in a wooded area where the shooter had fled. Investigators have also collected footwear impression, a palm print, and forearm imprints for analysis.
There is heartbreak and fury over escalating political violence in this country. The president lashing out last night.
For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis.
And this morning, marking 24 years after the September 11th terror attacks, the president remembering the young father and husband, awarding Kirk with the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Charlie was a giant of his generation, a champion of liberty, and an inspiration to millions and millions of people.
The FBI is offering a reward of $100,000 for any information that will lead to the arrest of Charlie Kirk's killer. Joy Malvin, CTV News, Washington.
Meantime, there is a Canadian connection to the Charlie Kirk killing. A man who was in Toronto at the time was misidentified as a suspect by a fake social media account. CTV's Adrian Gobriel reports.
Michael Mallison went from watering his plants to receiving a flood of threatening messages on social media.
Calling me all sorts of names.
And your daughter was receiving messages as well,
saying if Michael Mallison is your brother or father, then this and this is going to happen.
Following the shocking shooting in Utah, this fake Fox News account on X posted the Charlie Kirk shooter confirmed to be Michael Mallison with a photo of the Torontonian.
Michael, you see your name and your photo linked to an assassination in the United States. Your initial reaction?
Shock and horror. I've heard horrible things about people having their identity stolen.
Quickly, photos of Mallison taken from his social media pages started to circle the internet. Even Grok, the AI chatbot on Elon Musk's X, alleged that Mallison was likely the suspect arrested in the shooting.
Michael, where were you yesterday at about 2:20 Eastern Time?
Actually driving around. We had a busy day. My wife and I went to Yorkdale and then to another store looking for luggage.
Mallison has had legitimate concerns for his safety. The allegations from a fake account, another reminder of a growing lack of verified content on social media sites and the real-life consequences.
They are allowing things to slip through on their platform, and they don't put in enough safeguards to prevent things like this from happening.
I'm just a quiet, normal guy, ordinary guy. I have no need for any publicity, thank you very much.
Mallison has contacted local authorities out of concern, and he's sharing his story in hopes of spreading factual reports that he has no association with the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
Adrian Gobriel, CTV News.
We have an update on the 5 former members of Canada's 2018 World Junior Hockey Team. The NHL says the 5 players that were acquitted in July of sexual assault charges stemming from an incident in 2018 will be suspended until December 1st. However, they will be able to sign with NHL teams as early as October 15th and can begin conditioning with the team as of November 15th. It's another day of giving back in Windsor. Local business Macro Foods, with help from local emergency responders, spent the morning preparing and delivering hot meals to charities across the community.
There's always going to be an identified need to assist people that are going through some significant hardships. And again, Macro Foods is being incredibly supportive of our initiatives and our mission.
It's the second year in a row the agencies have partnered together. This time, organizers say they're aiming even higher, hoping to donate 750 healthy meals to people in need. The meals are being shared with organizations including the Downtown Mission, Salvation Army, and Hiatus House. All say the donation comes at a critical time as demand for food support continues to grow across Windsor-Essex.
People are now starting to come in and also help out, which I think is working in our favor, not in terms of business, but in terms of being able to help the community and kind of give back, because it's definitely needed, especially with the tariffs and everything that's been going on lately. A lot of people are losing their jobs, so I'm glad that we're fortunate enough to be able to give back, and I hope we continue to be able to do so.
A new survey suggests a majority of Canadians are willing to look elsewhere from their current lenders and banks as they consider their financial futures. The Credit Bureau surveyed more than 1,500 adults last month. 57% of those under 35 said they'd switch to a different financial institution if it helps them build and monitor their credit. That compared to 38% of those in higher age groups. Meanwhile, 40% feel that their bank or lender could do more to support their credit needs. Things like adjusting credit limits or offering new solutions. Equifax says it looks like younger borrowers are prepared to shop around. Strength in industrial stocks helped Canada's main stock index reach new ground following a string of record highs. In Toronto, the TSX gained 229 points. In New York, the Dow added 617. The Nasdaq is up 157. The Canadian dollar gained 0.05 of a cent. On commodity markets, gold lost $8 an ounce and oil dropped to $1.30 a barrel. September spike coming up. What is behind the yearly jump in asthma attacks?
Let's look at our CTV News weather snapshot. Thanks to Sebastian Luke for always sharing these great cloud images. Just ahead, will even warmer temperatures be in store for tomorrow and beyond? We'll find out my forecast with the answers coming up right here on CTV News Windsor.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
Gorgeous flowers there. We're talking more about sunshine and warming up a little bit. Gary joins us again for an extended look. Gary.
You're right about that. We are likely to see temperatures a couple of degrees warmer than today, and today was a couple of degrees warmer than average, what we would expect at this time of the year. So we'll take close to 26 degrees Celsius. Our average high is closer to 23, and we could probably get some more warmth even through the overnights. Those temperatures are likely to increase a bit. We're not going to see single digits. The satellite radar imagery not showing us much of anything at all because of that ridge of high pressure. So I'm expecting an overnight temperature, in fact, down to about 12, maybe even 13 degrees, which would be seasonal. We've been cooler over the last week or two. So not much to see in terms of precipitation. Most of the cloud cover that we have seen of late have been essentially of the fair weather variety. 11, maybe 12 degrees Celsius. I think 13 is still a possibility. All in all, it's still seasonal if we're in the double digits, low double digits at this time of the year for an early morning start. Sunshine, this is good to start things off. 10 degrees, maybe about 11 between Windsor, Essex, Chatham, Kent. So we might actually take a dip after the sun is up. And then, look at this, a surge of warmth. Sunny, up to 22 during the noon hour, and those winds are relatively light. The worst case scenario is that we will see maybe, and there's just a slight chance of some fog in the morning. So just watch out for that. The dissipation will take place through, I'd say, 9 or 10 a.m. We'll go up to 26. And then we're into some more sunshine for the afternoon. Saturday into Sunday, it looks good. And then look at this. These temperatures, again, are about 4 to 5 degrees above seasonal. 27, followed by 28. Saturday, Sunday, Monday's 28. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 28. It will be either sunny, mostly sunny, or a mixture of fair weather cloud and sunny breaks for the next 7 days in a row as of this juncture. Let's look at your 7-day forecast.
Lifetime, brought to you by Safeguard Medical Alert Systems.
Canadian shoppers now have the opportunity to access their share of a $500 million settlement related to industry-wide allegations of price fixing on bread. The settlement involves Loblaw Companies Limited and parent company George Weston Limited. Lawyers said today that the claims process is now open. To get compensation, eligible Canadian residents who bought bread for personal use between 2001 and 2021 must submit a claim by December 12th of this year. Customers who didn't receive a $25 gift card related to this case in 2018 could eventually receive up to that amount. It's called the September spike, a jump in asthma attacks as kids go back to school. CTV health reporter Pauline Chan has more on why it happens and how to prevent it.
7-year-old Benji was diagnosed with asthma as a baby, and his mom says back to school is definitely a time when he gets more problems.
There's exposure to other children who are sick, and he gets sick easily, and when he gets sick, it leads to more asthma attacks for him.
And the Lung Health Foundation says there are other reasons for the September spike, too.
There's more ragweed pollen, weather changes, and indoor factors such as dust.
During the summer, Benji takes a break from his asthma medications.
The main buffer, and in these, there's medicine. There's lots of different medicines that go in.
And in September, his family reviews his asthma plan with his doctor.
The need to talk to his pediatrician about whether to start the medication again or not.
And his school.
So the school is very much aware that he has asthma. And then if he is having a difficult episode, we send his inhaler to school with instructions for his teachers.
Signs for a flare-up usually is the persistent wheezing. So there's like a rattling noise when they're breathing. They have difficulty speaking in full sentences. Sometimes they have difficulty sleeping at night, so they're waking up a lot.
As well as sharing your asthma plan, it's a good idea to make sure all your child's vaccinations are up to date.
I could do monkey bars. I could almost skip a bar, but I can't yet.
So kids like Benji can have a healthy and successful school year. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
The Canadian Institute for Health Information says emergency department visits for pneumonia doubled last fall over the previous year. Young people between 5 and 19 years old were the hardest hit. Experts say the numbers likely reflect an influx of patients with atypical pneumonia, also known as walking pneumonia, during last year's respiratory illness season. It usually causes milder symptoms than other types of pneumonia, including cough, fever, and fatigue, but can sometimes be severe and lead to neurological symptoms and rashes. It's unclear if walking pneumonia will make a significant reappearance this fall.
Coming up, we have What's Up YQG on location. Johnny, what are we doing?
We're stomping some grapes at Kubota Club.
We'll have all the details. Stay tuned.
Comedian Sebastian Maniscalco is bringing his It Ain't Right tour to the Coliseum stage at Caesars Windsor, Saturday, November 22nd. Enter online at ctvwindsor.ca for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to see Sebastian Maniscalco at Caesars Windsor, plus a $200 gift card.
Turning now to our weekly news segment, What's Up YQG with Johnny Parks from our sister Radio Virgin station and our own Melanie Kettner. Now, you guys have taken this week's segment on the road. What is going on at the Kubota Club?
Yeah, we're at the Kubota Club, and we're going to get our hands dirty. Actually, we're going to get our feet dirty today with a little bit of grape stomping for Grape Fest. What do you think, Johnny?
I think we should get into it. Let's get messy.
Let's try it. Okay, so I hear there's a technique involved here. What is it?
Yeah, I was told by the pros you want to stick to the outsides of the barrel. That helps you get more grape stompage, I suppose.
You were doing a way better job than me at stomping. Now, there's more than just grape stomping. What about the entertainment?
Yeah, there's going to be some great music for you. Slim Pickerel Duo on Friday, as well as the Higgy Country Band. And then Saturday, you got Crisis Club hits of the 80s and 90s. Sunday, you got Portofino Band.
And for people who don't want to get their feet dirty, there's something for food lovers.
Yeah, spaghetti eating contest as well, if you would rather get your face messy than your feet.
Well, something that's even scarier than my bare feet and grapes is AIM 800's holding an event at Scarehouse.
Yeah, Fright Night at Scarehouse. So that is going on Friday. It's free to attend. They do ask that you register beforehand, just so we know who's coming. And they would love if you could bring a cash donation or food donation for the Society of St. Vincent de Paul. It's a frighteningly good cause.
Come and have a spooky evening.
Now, Johnny and I are both going to be there. You might not recognize me, though. I might be in disguise. What about you?
You're going to wear the makeup and the costume? I think I'm scarier enough without it, so.
Okay, and also coming up this weekend, Honeymoon Suite at Chrysler Theater.
Yeah, it's going to be on Saturday, so you got all those big hits from the 80s like Burning in Love and Feel It Again. They kind of sound similar there. I don't know.
Who knew Johnny was such a great singer? Okay, and for runners on the waterfront this weekend, there's a half marathon. Or for the non-runners, what is there?
Yeah, if you're like me and you don't run unless you're being chased by people at Scarehouse, you can go to Walkerville Brewery after for the wrap-up celebration.
Okay, so something for beer lovers, wine lovers. I don't know, Johnny, how do you think we did? Who won the grape stomping competition here?
I still see whole grapes in yours. Mine is like slush. I think it's ready to drink.
It's not fair. His feet are bigger, so that's right. Johnny won. Thanks, Johnny, and that's What's Up YQG.
And the skies will be alive at Holiday Beach Conservation Area this weekend as the Festival of Hawks returns September 13th and 14th. Holiday Beach has been recognized as one of North America's top raptor migration spots. Expect stunning views as thousands of hawks and raptors fly over the park in their migration south. The park is offering guided hikes, bird banding, and family fun like the Woodland Critter Parade and Birds of a Feather treasure hunt. The cost, $20 per vehicle. Do you have thoughts or comments on a story? We want to hear from you. Text us at 10400, and if you see news happening, snap a photo or take some video. You can send that as well to 10400.
The spot where it all began. 89X is back. Windsor's alternative. 89X.
This is your CTV Windsor Our Community Calendar. Join us on Sunday, October the 5th to unite with people in Canada who are dedicated to changing the future of breast cancer. Sign up to support all people in Canada impacted by breast cancer. See you next time on Our Community.
It's time to check in on what's happening now with Kay Otterbein. And Kay, you have more on the $80 million investment in Chatham.
Yes, that investment is from Canada's largest can maker. They make the tin cans that hold food. Quebec-based Ideal Can is reopening a factory that's been empty for a decade. The project will create about 100 jobs and keep more food processing at home. Business leaders say the increased demand from Canadians to buy Canadian has resulted in new opportunities for companies to expand their footprint right here in Windsor.
That's really the nature, is you need to be competitive. You compete in a global market, so our businesses need to be able to compete, and this added value can be done here in Canada, and we can compete globally, so it's great news.
You can learn more online at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
An Essex Home Hardware Building Centre has taken home the highest award of the year in that industry.
How exciting! The Essex business was named the Walter J. Hatchbourne Store of the Year at the Proud of My Home Achievement Awards. It is awarded to the home hardware site that best upholds the values the business was created on: value, service, and dependability. Essex was also awarded the Best Home Hardware Building Centre Central Region Award. Check out what the family had to say about the honor on our website. And in our social spotlight tonight, imagine you're taking a walk through a rural area and then you hear this. A concerned citizen called the cops thinking someone was in distress, when really it was just Simon the goat. Police showed up to the farm asking if everyone was okay. Luckily, Simon's a pretty loud guy, so police were able to sort it out quickly that everyone was all right. I bet there's never a dull moment when Simon is around.
I'm just questioning if we should get a vet out there to check out his throat. Poor guy. It sounds like it's very painful, but I'm not surprised that this video is trending.
I mean, he's probably all right. Have you seen that YouTube video of the goat screaming? It's just like that.
Exactly.
If you want to submit a video for our trending segment, you can email it to newsnow@bellmedia.ca or text it at 10400.
And another high-pitched squeak on a river trip leads a young boy to an unforgettable rescue. Wait till you see what crawled into his hand. That story next.
The latest news to start your day.
Interviews, conversations with the top officials, the difference makers, and personalities in Windsor, Essex.
Only on Windsor, Essex #1 morning show.
It's Mornings with Mike and Meg on AM 800.
A beautiful day for a Friday Eve.
Friday Eve? Is today Friday?
No, today's Thursday.
Right.
Friday Eve.
Oh, Friday
It's a weekend,
Eve.
yes, that's okay.
Slow. Very slow. Yes, that would be the day before. Okay, I get it now. Well, I've been out in the sun today.
Yeah.
I mean, what can I say? Bald head and everything. Oh, but I did use sunscreen. By the way, people came up to me and saying, "Oh, thank you so much for the sunshine and warm temperatures. Please stop thanking me for this. I have no control." Obviously, temperatures are going to be in the mid to upper 20s over the next few days. Tomorrow will feel like 29. UV index about 7 or 8. So use your sunscreen. Enjoy the warmth, because the average temperature between tomorrow, which is not the eve, it's the actual day, and a week from now will be about 26.7 degrees, near 27. We are above seasonal, sunny and beautiful for the next little while.
Okay, and I apologize if I confused any of our viewers as well.
No, I was the only one confused on that, actually.
Okay, Travis, you're reporting for us tonight, and you're going to be talking about the contentious disc golf course that is going on in the county.
That's right, Stefanie. Later on this Friday Eve, this contentious disc golf course at Holiday Beach could be coming to a head. The Conservation Authority is set to discuss that at their regular board meeting tonight. After months of petitions and pushback, they paused plans back in the spring. Tonight at 11, we'll show you where they've decided to go from here.
Okay, and finally tonight, a slice of true Canadiana. A family out for a float on a river stumbled on a rescue mission involving the country's most iconic animal. Adam Sawatsky picks up the story.
Look at that. Connor Belanger and his mom Liz don't need to look at pictures from their recent tubing trip
to remember the sound they'll never forget.
Kind of high-pitched squeaking sound that I've never heard before.
Liz was moving down the river too fast to see where it was coming from, but Connor was far enough behind to spot something struggling in the rapids and reached out to help.
Slowly, kind of clawed its way up into my palm, with its front heft, and then I scooped it up.
But it wasn't until it was safely in his arms that Connor saw its tiny tail and realized he'd saved a baby beaver.
It felt awesome, and I felt super protective of it immediately.
And he just held on and let us kind of look. And
After it stopped breathing heavily, the baby started falling asleep in Connor's arms. And for the next hour, until they reached their pickup point downriver, they cuddled close.
Just has so much empathy for animals.
When they got to shore, they marked the specific location where they'd found the beaver on a map and started reaching out for someone official to help the baby they'd named Chip.
She would open her little eyes, look around, and then snuggle back in, just take care of me.
The family took turns cradling the baby as they drove an hour and a half out of their way to the North Island Wildlife Rescue Association.
It was really good that they found it when they did.
Joanna Smith says the baby was just a week old and likely swept out of her den before floating too far downriver for her family to find her.
Without Mom, there's no way she would have survived.
But after a few weeks in care, the beaver, now renamed Little Timber, is thriving.
Oh, she's a busy beaver.
Well, the beaver's expected to be released back into the wild in about 18 months. Liz and Connor will likely be looking back fondly on their time with Little Timber forever.
And such a Canadiana experience. We rescued a baby beaver.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Saanich.
That last shot, it looked like he was smiling. So adorable. I'm so happy. You can see that connection he was missing with his mother.
It's very cute. I don't know if I'd have the guts to pick up a baby wild animal.
A beautiful little girl it was? Eve?
Yes, girl.
She,
yeah.
right? Yes, okay.
Anyway, it's adorable.
Still trying to think about that Eve thing.
It's okay, we'll get through it one day at a time.
Beautiful beaver.
It's almost the weekend, in case
That's
you
a
didn't know.
Canadian icon, by the way.
On behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching.
Like you don't know that. For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca.
Stefanie and I will be back with your only late local newscast tonight at 11.
Good night.
I'm going to go to sleep.
Yeah.